Welcome to the shit show.
Tom is the All Elite Wrap-Up for April 10th, 2025. And I say Tom, I'm not addressing the most important person in the room. Bernie. Yeah. It's Bernie! Tom's dog has joined the podcast. Yeah. Yep. I hate that I suggested this ever as like a thing that I'm wearing the finest Jeff Jarrett shirt found on the interwebs because I suck. Oh, they're saying they can't hear you, Tom. Well, what's going on with that? Here, let's fix that. I bet you I can fix that.
Here we go. Well,
there it is.
Well, I could hear me.
Yeah, I know you could hear you, but now there.
No, I mean I have it unmuted on YouTube, and I could hear me. Yeah.
Oh.
So there you go. So anyhow, maybe fuck your mama was too busy fucking his mama, and he didn't hear it. No,
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take this all down if I pull.
Picking the Megasis was my downfall. Says fuck your mama 2 times. Who's joined the chat? Which, by the way, everyone join the chat live with us. We will try to make sure we don't have technical difficulties, but it happens. You know what I mean? This is free. And I say that because you can go to allelitewrapup.com and donate to the show. There's 2 ways. I've got 2 ways. There's PayPal. There's Cash App. Donate to the show, right? Whatever you feel like. Yeah. However you're feeling philanthropic. I know there's a lot of suffering in the world, but if you like this podcast and you got a few extra dollars after you've helped others, well, then help us out. So, Tom, as we were saying, I am wearing this god-awful shirt because I was once again near perfect, but I had to be perfect to beat Tom. Yeah. And they called the wrong thing. They booked it wrong.
This guy.
They booked it wrong. Megasis should have won that match, but it didn't happen. And we're here now. I have to wear this shirt for yet another round until what? Double or Nothing is the next?
Yep, Double or Nothing in Phoenix, Arizona. And then after that, you got to wear it for the Y'all In.
For
and
Y'all
then after
In.
Y'all In, you got to wear it for All Out.
This will be,
I think that's what it's next after that. But yeah, what a great night, huh? Watch some wrestling. I enjoyed my picks because I knew it was going to happen. I have a strategy. I'm not going to tell you my strategy. But I got a strategy, and you're going to keep that.
Everybody knows you use ChatGPT, Tom. You don't got to like. It's
First off, no one knows how to spell that, so it's not a real thing. Second, obviously, if anyone doesn't need ChatGPT, it's this guy right here. Look at Bernie
the dog. That's what you missed. Fuck your mama 2 times if you didn't hear earlier. That's Bernie the dog.
He's my best friend. He's my best friend. I love this guy. I thought he was a curse. Did I tell you about that?
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard this about Bernie. Bernie's not a curse.
Yeah, I got him the Thursday before Super Bowl 55, the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. And I was like, are you fucking serious? What the hell was that?
Was it the fucking dog that did it? Was that what you were saying?
Well, no. So I was like, okay, well, couldn't be. But then if you recall, the next year we're up 21-3 at halftime on the Cincinnati Bengals. And then we fucking lose in overtime and Cincinnati goes to the Super Bowl. And I go, okay, hold the fuck up, Bernie. Everything was going great. And then you showed up, homie, and now look at us. And then that next Super Bowl, Super Bowl 57, I was like, Bern, It's either Chiefs win or you're looking for a
You
new
better
home.
turn this around. Well, even at halftime, you'd probably have to be like, listen,
Yeah.
I need to turn this around.
But we end up winning Super Bowl 57 and Super Bowl 58. And then I realized, okay, well, then it's not him. It's obviously.
Well, and then football was done, right? Like, then nobody paid attention to the NFL anymore. So, like, after those two in a row, like, it doesn't matter anymore, right? Like, nobody cares about who wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Actually, can I tell you something? Honestly, this time of the year, this is when I realized I could not like go pro in any sport, whether that's athletically or even like talking about
This was the year you're saying?
No. This time of the year. Sorry, this time of the year.
All
yeah.
Right. So this is a recurring thought.
Yes. I couldn't go pro if I was wanting to play, and I couldn't go pro if I was wanting to go into radio because one of the voices in football that I respect more than most is Mina Kimes. She does ESPN. I think she's very good. She's very smart. Doesn't do great predictions, but she does a great job. Probably better than anyone else on like showing you what you're actually seeing. I think it's awesome. She was on ESPN and they're talking football. And I was like, get this fucking shit off of here. And it has nothing to do with like the Chiefs or anything like that. It's like, I don't want to hear fucking football right now. This is basketball, baseball season. Don't fucking, oh, did you do it? I don't give a fuck. Oh, did you hear that we got a 6th round draft pick? Oh, did you hear that we're 7-6 and the fucking Royals are tied for first place? That's what I'm talking about. Like, I can't do the like year round stuff. Even like when the Royals lost, in the playoffs to the Yankees, and they were like, "Oh, so our AA prospect." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! We're done with that." Like,
yeah, I'm done unless it's like the year when they were like, "All right, they drafted Mahomes, right?" This like that's a story, but like all the like they traded for the Chargers backup cornerback. Like, I don't give two shits, man. Fill me into the program on the first game, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, I'm obviously if we traded for TJ Watt or whatever. Right. Okay, I'll talk about that. But yeah, hey, did you hear we like re-signed safety Mike Edwards? Okay.
Neat. Yeah.
Fucking tell me that in October. Like that's when I'll care. Like
this is back when it felt like we had it right when you got a nightly newspaper, right? Or you watched the nightly news and you got like a rundown there and you were like, all right.
Well, and it's just not to go on a huge tangent here, but like this is where tracking like data points ruin coverage because as soon as they figured out the internet, as soon as they figured out what gets the clicks, they just double down on that, whether it's good or bad for you. It's just like a fucking sugary treat every day. And so like
just click.
Yeah, and now I'm making it a bigger point. But even with sports is what I'm saying is like they realize football gets the clicks. So you know what we don't talk about? Baseball. Why? Well, because the football. And it's like, well, why are we continually clicking on football? Because that's the only fucking thing we're being shown. So like it's just one of those things of the dog biting its tail kind of thing where it's like if you just had back in the old days when ESPN would be like Sunday Night Baseball. You know why? Because it's Sunday Night Baseball. And then it's Sunday Night Football. Why? Because it's Sunday Night Football. And we just had the programs that were the fucking thing. That's when we were a good society. The day ESPN got rid of Baseball Tonight as a weekly or as a daily program during the baseball season, I knew right then this country's fucked.
Well, I knew when TNT was doing away with basketball.
Well, that's this year. Baseball Tonight's been gone for a long time.
But when I saw that like being official, I was like, oh, the apocalypse is nigh.
Yeah, and that's so weird. So did you hear about that deal? So they're not actually going away. Basketball games will not be on TNT. Inside the NBA will still be a show. It's going to be airing on ESPN, even though it's the same production crew and ESPN is buying it from TNT.
Nice.
And TNT
so they just bought the whole crew and the show and the whole thing. We're like, just do it here.
And then what TNT's getting out of the deal is like 4 college football games. And it's just like, brother, TNT, I think you guys fucked up because I will not watch TCU versus Clemson. I don't give a fuck about that. If it's not, anyhow.
Yeah, I'm also look, I love college football when my team's doing well enough to like really want to watch the rest of what's going on to know positioning and like things like if my team's 5-3 I give a fuck about the top 25 right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't care. I'm not watching it. Don't give a shit.
I just anyhow, I think they may have got they fucked themselves on that deal. But yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting back to though, is the Royals tied for first place. AEW, it's really fun. Bernie had to take off. There was a cat that just walked by the window, so he said, "Fuck them cats." And so now here we are. We're talking about AEW. You're wearing a horrendous shirt, which brings joy to my heart. And where do you want to start, Tim? You want to start?
I'm glad
with
I could give you your 5 minutes of joy in your daily life, Tom. I know you need this. The joy is low for you these days. So here, look, celebrate once again. You don't have to have this haunting your dreams like I do. It feels like it's crawling up me instead of like I'm wearing it. Does that make sense?
I would say it's the same description as like what you saw Tom Hardy do when he was Venom. You know, when like Venom was like going through, it's like the same thing. Yeah. Same thing.
It's just bad. Same. It's just bad. So this will be yours next time. Next time I'm going to do it. Next time I believe that I will win. Right? And that's
I've got a lot of proven points that proves my point that you're going to keep that shirt forever.
Yeah.
I got the strategy. I got it.
Fucking Mama Two Times says he knows the strategy also, but would not tell me.
Good. Yeah, he knows.
Look, I appreciate not being a snitch and all, but like, this feels like picking a side. You know what I mean? I'm hurt is all I'll say. But Tom,
I think he's just saying, hey, I can't play favorites. I know.
I know it
myself.
But like, yeah.
You know. So
he didn't say he doesn't feel bad for me or nothing.
Right? Yeah. Like, or good. He doesn't feel
right
good
or
bad.
Good. Right.
Yeah.
Impartial.
Right. Exactly.
Well, fuck your mama 2 times impartially. Doesn't care. It doesn't care who you are. What walk of life you come from? Mama's getting fucked twice. All right, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom, we are here to talk about AEW Dynamite was last night. It's coming hot off the heels. Hot off the heels of AEW Dynamite. Or Dynasty, excuse me. I'm excited. That was a great show. We're going to talk about both those things, but we're going to do a rundown of Dynasty, or Dynamite, excuse me, and kind of pepper in the big events from Dynasty, yeah?
Hell yeah, brother. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
So we were at the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, at the granddaddy of them all.
Be more.
Like, even if that is my company, the Chesapeake Employers Insurance, I'm not putting that as the naming rights.
Well, at Kansas City, they do it GEHA Field. And I'm like, man, why wouldn't you that's not the name of your company. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't make us say that.
Well, just with like Chesapeake Employers Insurance, just call it CEI, the CEI Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. Like, that's better. You know? Like, I don't know. But I digress. We have Excalibur.
This is the Baltimore Arena, brought to you by the law firm of Hawkins, Johnson, Martinsville, and like, God damn, man, what are we doing?
No, that's fucking stupid. Yeah. So we got Excalibur, Taz, and Tony Schiavone on the call. We kick it off with some ominous words from our reigning champion, Jon Moxley, who defeated Swerve Strickland. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about the promo, but we'll also talk about the main event of Dynasty. So Moxley is kind of talking up the talent, right? The single greatest roster ever assembled. But why can't these assholes get it together? Like, what the fuck? I'm here and they can't beat me. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
I love this because he's so full of shit. Because we see the matches. You know what I mean? Like, I like that.
Yeah, but that's a great. Again, this slow ride that we've been on with the Death Riders here I don't want to say like it's been worth it. Like, it wasn't like a long play here. We just finally got around to some stuff that's got some meat on it, right? Him saying, this is the best in the fucking world. Well, then what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Come on, right? Like, is great stuff. I like that. Yeah, I like that we instantly got told, hey, Young Bucks, what the fuck, right? Like, listen, better stay away from my shit, but like, whatever, right? Like, okay.
Yeah, and he even goes on to say, I don't recognize those two anymore. He says, so you better be careful next time you make your moves. Because, as we talk about Dynasty real quick, the main event saw Swerve Strickland versus John Moxley. The match ends with, shenanigans, but lights go out, lights come on. We do the BT trigger from the Young Bucks returning, the EVPs, hitting Swerve Strickland in the forehead and knocks him out. John Moxley
they
retains.
double tipped him.
Yeah, the old double tip. Pop, pop.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just the tips. 2 times.
Just the tip. Just 2 tips.
Hot!
And so we'll find out in due time about this Matt and Nick Jackson, what's up with them and the Death Riders. We kind of get a little bit, but before we get there, we get into our first match of the night on Dynamite last night, and it is our AEW World Champion, John Moxley, and he's taking on the wrestler, Shibata. And Shibata and Moxley, they do a good old wrestle, right? Wrestle.
Yep.
Wrestle.
Yeah.
And
stiff wrestle, right? They like to
stiff wrestle.
They like to pretend it's a little more real, right?
Yeah. And again, that doesn't make you cool because we know. I've never understood he has the hardest kicks. Yep. They fucking probably should if the other guy's like, just do it. Doesn't make you fucking cool. But Moxley chokes out Shibata. Ha! Gotcha, bitch. Whoop, whoop. You know? And after the match, here come the EVPs. Matt and Nick Jackson, and they're walking up. And Moxley and Marina, to their credit, were like, what the fuck are these?
Yeah, look at these jagoffs.
What? And they don't necessarily like, it's not a positive or negative reaction. It's kind of just just a point at each other.
Like, are these guys going to be a fucking problem? Like they keep coming around our fucking shit? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what this is about.
And so he just moves, John Moxley, that is. Moxley and Marina just move on and go back to the back. And here comes the EVPs. Now, I love this angle that they first took. They said, hey, let's give it up for Moxley, huh? One of our founding fathers, you know? And you guys are just like us, right? We realized that in our time away. You guys wanted to change the world. So do we, you know? But now everyone's wanting to know why we did what we did. Well, guys, we obviously did it for our good friend, Hangman Adam Page. He didn't want that guy to be champion. So you're welcome, Hangman.
We did that for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Way to go, Hanger.
And so what do you think about that angle? I thought that was pretty fun.
I liked it. I liked that was thrown in there, right? That's a nice little plug. Again, I like the mixing and the touching, that we're not forgetting, but that's not their main focus. Right. However, I really appreciated that, and still, even as we continue this, we weren't mincing around. We weren't this like, Young Bucks are playing, like these guys are being assholes out of the gate. They're telling you to shut the fuck up, right? They're like, we're the founding fathers of AEW, right? Like all the shit, right? They are heels to the max right now, and they're doing it well so far, especially right up to here too.
Yeah, and one thing that they also said is, hey, we hope that what we did, Moxley, is like a peace offering. So how about you guys come back out here, Moxley, because you just took off, but come back with the Death Riders, and we'll kind of figure out what we can do here to make
parlay.
Make all of us happy here. And so they're waiting for the Death Riders, and then guess what fucking happens? Kenny Omega comes out. And Kenny Omega, dressed like he just got done.
I don't know if you caught the Young Bucks mention. They were like, look, this would be great brand synergy or something between the Death Riders. Like, you think the Death Riders are concerned with synergy?
I will say, side note, and then we'll get back onto this. 2 things that I saw that really warmed my heart, because it was one of my Christmas wishes, is more brand synergy of AEW and the existing properties. 2 things I saw. One, Adam Copeland was on the NHL TNT show talking about the Maple Leafs, and they were talking about when he wore the Maple Leafs jersey and he beat up Christian that was wearing, I believe, the Blackhawks. I don't remember the other team, but he was beating them up, right? So you got Adam Copeland on the NHL pregame and postgame show. That's great. And then they were doing a thing where on their social media, and it was conjoined, you know how like you can have it on 2 accounts at the same time. They had where who said it? Either a cast member from The Last of Us or an AEW wrestler, right? So they had a quote and you had to guess. And I was like, I don't know anything about The Last of Us, but I know it's a huge show.
Yeah, but that's great.
And I was like, that's what you need to do more of. So yes, I do like that. But Kenny Omega comes out here, just getting done with his game of 21 at the local YMCA gym.
Yeah. He always does look like he just got off the plane, man. Like
Well,
just
So one thing that he said at that event that I went to, where it was that benefit basketball tournament, charity, whatever
Yeah.
event at my old high school, is he said that he and the Young Bucks have requested every week that a basketball goal be sent to whatever town they're going to. So a basketball goal
that's fun.
goes with them everywhere. And I tell you what,
That would be awesome. Like if I
Yeah,
just
well-
commission, be like, hey, listen, I gotta go over here, but like, bring the hoop. All right, bring
Yeah.
the hoop, bring the balls. Like,
and I tell
Make
you
sure
what,
it's
he
there.
needs to, maybe he needs to stop wrestling because he sucks at basketball. Jesus Christ, he did not know how, he shot a ball like he just found out what a ball was. You know, like he was like, what the?
well, he's like, I've seen this on TV.
Yeah.
This wouldn't even happen either, right? Like it
Yeah.
had to be like it had to be something like this.
He shot the basketball as if it was a Disney character in an after school special who doesn't know how to play the sport being cast in the sport of basketball.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just
I
horrible.
envision a movie where the kid fresh out of high school or fresh out of college is becoming a teacher in a rough area, and he's like, "Hey, let me play some hoops, guys," and like an air balls.
Hey,
They're like, "Man, get this loser out of here."
man, what the fuck? That doesn't bring us closer to you, you dickhead. No, we can't find the ball. So Omega, he comes out and he goes, "Hey, what's up here? You talking about all your friends? Who'd you forget? Forgot about me."
Yep.
And then he says something to the effect of, you know, last time I saw you, I was at the height of my sickness and you motherfuckers took me out. But
Tried to
I'm
kill
not here for that. Yeah, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for revenge.
Yeah.
He said he's trying to,
Namaste, all that. Right.
well, he said he's trying to bring back the feeling, which people keep saying that. Motherfuckers, it hasn't left.
Yeah,
The
I
only
got
time it was-
feeling.
Yeah, it was only kind of gone when CM Punk was a fucking cunt. That's
Over
it.
Here, I'll show you. I'll feel you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want someone to feel you, I'll give you a
show
feeling.
We got feelings. Feel this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grab a hold of this. Tell me if you can feel that.
Yeah, you know, feel my foot in your ass. But here's where I wanted
We
to
love
get
our
to you.
fans, by the way. Hit us up. Stay in the chat. Talk to us.
Yes, Tim loves our fans. Here's a question I have for you. So, did we just get rid of this part of the story? Because Kenny Omega says, hey, the last time we saw the EVPs, they were shredding up documents. But we know why you were doing that. It's because you were basically spending all the money.
Embezzling funds.
Yeah, and so you wanted to get rid of that. And
You said-
obviously we're not.
You said,
stupid.
including using company funds to buy the lounge chair for your bedroom facing your bed.
Yeah, because apparently that's a Jim Cornette like
Well, we kink
dig.
shame. Yeah. We like to
But I
kink
think
shame
Jim-
around here. Yeah.
When I think Jim Cornette's in that, right?
Yeah.
But who cares?
Allegedly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Love is love, except if there's an age difference, and then we all collectively freak the fuck out. Don't you love that?
Yeah.
She's 28 and he's 60. Oh my God. Who the fuck cares? God, if you're in a bar, if two individuals can legally enter into a bar together, they should be able to fuck however much they want. Who cares? I don't care if you're 83 and 24. Don't give a fuck. If you're choosing it, that's you.
Yeah.
But Bill Belichick has a young girlfriend. Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. They do TikToks or whatever. Is that still a thing, TikTok? Does
It
that get
is.
banned? Okay.
Well, it might again. I don't know. After it got banned the first time, I stopped hanging around on it so much.
I never did. I did some videos, but then I quit because it's too much.
Yeah.
But
Well, I picked
here's
up
my
other
question.
things, and I want to keep diving into that. I want to get my attention span back more.
Hell yeah, read a book. Look at that.
Yeah, I've been reading
Basketball
some books.
100. Yeah.
Right now, because my attention span is the way it is, I'm juggling like 5 books. You know what I mean? I get a little into one, and then I read the fucking little bit of the other one. So,
Yep.
Yep.
It takes some time. But here's my question to you. So did we just throw away they were shredding documents thing?
I think maybe So it's about the same time we were like, what is Jon Moxley doing? What is this crew going to do? So I think maybe they thought they were going to do an angle there, and it didn't. And this was kind of a way to like address it and just say, because you guys are fucking embezzling funds and cheapskates. Now, it doesn't make sense of why they felt they had to flee then.
Yeah.
Right? But maybe we'll get more.
Yeah, I think we will, because it felt too easy to just because also the Young Bucks didn't like get crazy about it. They're just like,
Yeah, they're like,
so, yeah. So it just, I don't know.
I will say this: the Young Bucks playing that out of touch corporate ass clown that comes around and like has something to say about the stuff that everybody else is actually fucking doing the work on. Right? They play it really well. They really make people want to hate it. It feels to me like that could be something akin to, maybe not this heights, but like when Austin versus McMahon of like, just fuck your corporate, like those guys are hitting it. So if we can keep hitting them being that, right? So bring them back. If we have to glance over the like, oh, they shredded documents because like they just didn't know what to do with it at the time, fine. But as long as we keep these fucking characters doing what they're doing, I'm here for it. Cause like that shit is so, right? Like you just like don't
hate it.
And it's easy to plug and play with every character. Every character in that locker room should not like those guys.
Yes, I agree. Unless you're getting benefit from it, which we'll speak about one person who is, because Kenny Omega says, hey, why don't we just fucking stop this shit? He says Dookie a couple times. I remember that. But he's like, let's stop this shit and let's just fight.
Yeah,
how about
let's do it
that?
right now. Let's fight.
And so he's walking up there, and then we hear the money dropping, and it's Okada. And Okada walks down in his oversized suit like he's Carmelo Anthony on draft night. And he's like, hey, what's up? See my suit?
Maybe that's the look he was going for.
I've seen, I'm not kidding you, I have seen fashionable people starting to come back around to the 2003, 2004 oversized.
The kids are really into the 90s look these days, you know, the baggy, you know.
I love it.
Ripped up stuff.
I love baggy clothes. I hated when all these assholes were like, let's wear everything to where you can see my fucking veins in my legs. No, I don't want to feel clothes. I want everything to be baggy so I don't feel nothing. Like,
Listen, to me, it's just immeasurably cooler, smoother, whatever activity you're doing if you're also wearing some baggy clothes. You know what I mean?
It's the best.
It seems cooler.
Yeah.
It just shows disregard, right? And like, everybody knows disregard is cool, right? Like,
and it could be whatever you want. Go back to that TLC music video. Remember when they're all in their silk pajamas and they're all baggy and moving it around because it's fluid? Yeah. Fucking, oh, look at this. I got a necktie. Oh, this is attractive. Oh, no. Fucking dumb. Jinkos. What? Oh, Okada comes out. And
If we get Okada in some Jinkos now.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
Yes. But Okada comes out, and this is the second time, because if we go back to Dynasty, we have a triple threat for the international title. Ricochet, Speedball, Omega. Omega wins. It's a great match, but Omega wins. We'll talk about the other two. And after he wins, Okada walks out, and everyone freaks out for a minute. Like, oh shit, what is this? Are we getting it? And Omega goes, no, fuck that guy. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to the first time, when I believe Okada retained his championship, Omega walked out and handed him, and Okada was like, I'm out of here. So Omega's just doing the same thing. What do you think about that? Are we getting this at Double or Nothing? We getting at Y'all In? What are we doing?
I think we're eventually playing to All In. I feel like, you know, there was that discussion going around about merging the titles.
I think it is.
And I think we're going to do that.
Yeah.
It did just hit me that we have turned the clock where we're the old people now. We're telling the kids, we're like, come on, you need to wear baggier clothes. You need to, like, clothes are too tight, right? When to us, they were like, God damn, kid, pull your pants up.
No, don't.
No.
Yeah.
No, they were wrong. And you're
Baggy.
wrong too.
Look here, your grandfather is a piece of shit. He doesn't know fashion, and you're dumb as fuck, and you don't know fashion either.
Yeah.
I do.
If your pants aren't wet from the road, too tight. Too tight.
What the fuck? Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Now, where it needs to stop, affliction clothes. Get that shit out of here. That was a vomit on a t-shirt. We don't need that.
Nope.
We stop. Just baggy.
None of that Ed Hardy stuff.
Nope. Just baggy. That's all we ask.
Yep.
Baggy. Yeah. Back to wrestling. So Okada walks out, and now it's 3-on-1. And where does Swerve come from? He comes from the crowd. Music hits. They're all like, ooh. He comes from the crowd. He has a chair. They all run off. And then it's a little bit clunky because they run off. And within, I get it, timing of a show, you can't, just sit there forever. But within 20 seconds, Omega leaves, just gives him a fist bump, and then walks out. And I was like, you could just chase him. I bet you they didn't get that far,
Yeah.
Or you could jump Omega because now Swerve has a microphone in his hand. He ain't paying attention anymore, So, it would have been cool if he would have went the other way, right? Like, not gone the same direction that they went.
Right. Yeah. Why wouldn't you just,
Why wouldn't you just jump him? Just wait for him now, Like, I don't know. Anyhow.
They didn't want that smoke, huh?
I guess not. So Swerve says he pronounces it that it's buck hunting season. And he's going to kick their ass.
Yeah.
And before he really could even kick his ass, Pac comes out and he says, "You forget about me, motherfucker. Kick you in the fucking head."
Just choking him out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Beating him up. And so now we go into our first or to our second match.
That the announcer was just kind of like, I guess like they were going to have a match. Let's just fucking do it now.
Who cares?
Right now.
Which, hold on. Didn't we do this and criticize it recently? Yeah, it was like Big Bill and Powerhouse, and they had like security, and they're like,
they had security separate them. But here they were just like, all right, well, if you guys are fighting, look, we'll just move this up.
We'll
move the women's back on the spreadsheet.
Yep. We'll move them to the 8:30 time slot as usual. Yep, that still checks out with me. So go ahead, have the match.
Yeah.
And this doesn't last long because apparently, legit, Pac breaks his foot
or ankle or something. Yeah.
Foot, ankle, knee. I don't know. But he's injured. He comes back into the ring, takes a stomp, loses.
Yeah, managed to get himself in there to take a hit and take a pin. Good on him, right? But like, Yeah.
Well, and I'm curious. Well, actually, let's talk about it now. We'll talk about it again when we get there. But, the Ops comes out at Dynasty, and it looks like it was going to be Ops versus Death Riders. But are we going to do a Freebirds thing and just say John Moxley can fill in for Pac as part of the trios thing?
But will he when he's the world champ? Like, do you do that?
Well, he doesn't have to take the pinfall. Yuta can take the pinfall, right?
Yeah, I know. But, like, do you want him out there, like, 2 matches and shit like that or anything like that? Could they go
Well, you
find
could do that
member?
as and you could do it as like Dynamite. Oh, they could do another member, but you could also do that Dynamite, right? You could just have a title change,
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I'm just thinking about? So we come out of this, we talk about all the stuff that just happened here, right? Swerve's looking at the Bucks. So he's saying, Bucks, I'm after you. Copeland, we'll talk about, he isn't in commission. Who's the number one guy going after Moxley right now then?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who's next in line.
Seems like he's taking everyone out. Who could it be? Because
I don't know.
Because Orange is done.
Maybe we run it back with Swerve. I don't like.
But he said, we'll talk about it, but I think he's not going to go title right now. He's going to go take a left turn. But Renee Paquette, she's backstage. She's talking to Hangman.
The Death Riders should force recruit Max Caster. Like, he'll be out here doing his shtick, and then they hey, man, they just come out and they're just like, right? They're just kind of like, put the microphone down. They're just like, you're coming with us, right? And like just slowly change him over time, right? He starts getting a little crazy.
Which, by the way, let's take a side note we'll get to the Hangman interview. we have at Dynasty on the pre-show, Max
Uh-huh.
Caster says open challenge. And guess who it is? Anthony Bowens, the pride of pro wrestling.
They also, I think it's the pride of AEW, or is he the pride?
Oh, I
of
thought
pro
he said the
wrestling?
pride of pro wrestling.
Yeah, I forgot. I hone in on the 5-tool player. Tom, in pro wrestling, what are the 5 tools in pro wrestling? Right? Like, what is pro wrestling's 5 tools?
Punching.
Do what?
Punching.
Okay, yeah, because we got to think this is kayfabe, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so this makes sense. Okay.
Punching, kicking. I don't know how to say this, like not agility, but like stamina. So stamina, grappling, submissions.
All right.
Look at that.
5-tool player.
5-tool player. But you know why he does that?
Well, it's baseball, right?
He's a huge baseball guy. Like he's legit really good. I think he played in college. Like he can fucking smash the ball.
Looks like a baseball guy.
Yeah. Oh man, he fucking murders that ball. I just love because again, if you want to be different than MAGA WWE, point out the babyface pride of pro wrestling, and there you go. Right? Hey, it's not that bad to be different. Look at Anthony Bowens, you know?
Oh, Miss Fitness here in the chat says he went over it in the scrum. He might have told us what the 5 tools were. Look at us being 2 tools.
I do not watch the scrum unless it is a viral moment from Tony Storm. Did you see that?
The best, yes.
Did you see the Nantucket?
Yes.
Oh my, yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Well, you could tell Tony Khan was not expecting this because he was like, "What?" And he like looked over. He's like, "Does she actually have that shit written down?"
You want to say this one? All right, I guess you are. So go at it.
He was like, "That's not on the fucking paper."
So Anthony Bowens beats Max Caster. If you get a chance, watch Max Caster's post-match interview. I actually thought that was the better of two because he's like, "Hey, good, there you go, Anthony. You got it. You got your moment. But now you're gonna have to prove that you can do this without me."
That's right. I remember he was like, "Oh yeah, you finally did it." Right? It's like, he was like, "Oh, you finally did it." Yeah.
Yeah. But he's like, now you're gonna have to prove all this stuff without me because I was the one that did all of this. Which, kind of tell the truth. I mean, if you think of the Acclaimed, it's really Max Caster.
Oh, I agree. No, I 100% agree. Now, listen, Anthony Bowens is good. I think we have something like you said where we can lean into and make a new character. But yeah, I think, and Max Caster's already shown it that he can have a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah.
Right? Like he can clearly do both sides of the aisle here of like you're really wanting to cheer and clap along and just making you be like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back into Dynamite. Backstage, Renee Paquette is talking to Hangman, and Hangman is like, "Hey, I ain't gonna talk to you.
Yeah,
I got. Well, because he goes, "What do you want me to say? I don't know who I'm facing because he's gonna be facing the wild card." So he's like, "What do you want me?"
Which again, I don't understand. Like these tournaments, you have a wild card. The poor bastard has to face the wild card. That's not fair.
Nope.
Shenanigans
Indeed. If Hangman loses, you motherfucker. Anyhow, so he just blows right past Renee and goes to the Swerve locker room, and he's like, "Hey, where is he? Where is he?" And Nana's like, "Hey, man, I don't fucking know where he is."
Well, at first he's like, "Who?" And he's like, "Bitch, don't fucking."
Yeah, you know who the fuck I'm talking about. And Hangman says, "Hey, you think that I was getting involved?"
It was he says, help Swerve.
Right, he says, "I wasn't there to help Swerve. And also, if you think you want to get involved in me getting this title shot, I'll pick up right where we left off." Nana says, "You know what? There's actually something from last year I wanted to talk to you about." And he just like, "You don't get the fucking chance to say that to me." Like, no.
Because he said, "I regret what." And he's like, "No, shut up. Don't. You don't fucking say that.
You don't get to say it.
You don't get that," he said. Yeah.
Which is fucking true.
It is great stuff. I know, but it's great stuff. It's also like, no. You don't get to. I say when this is okay, right? You don't get to fucking
Yeah.
Nope.
I love that. You don't punch me in the eye And then before my eye is done healing, go and say, sorry. No, motherfucker.
I feel really bad about that.
No,
Be
you
like,
don't.
bitch, I bet you will.
Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Here's the side thing too that I wanted to talk about is, this all stems from a home invasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in pro wrestling lore, 15,000 times that's happened, right? Randy Orton and Triple H are always like buddy buddy. And I remember the time when Triple H fucking ran into Randy Orton's house and was trying to kill him. Like,
Brian Pillman popping off caps, man.
yeah. But, and then like, yeah, later they're like, then that was a little bit different because unfortunately some things happened. But like with Randy Orton, I always go back to like the Randy Orton Triple H because that was supposed to be the craziest thing. And now they're like, oh, Evolution's back again. And
Randy
it's
Orton
like,
burned down a house too.
yeah, he burned down Bray Wyatt's house. It's like, but we'll be tag partners, right? That'd be fun, or whatever. But in this, it's like, no, this was a real thing that we're like, because it would, if someone, I would feel like, oh, I'm never going to be friends with that person. And so I love that they're taking it serious with something that has happened a billion times in wrestling. So I love it. All right, then we get into the $400,000 explosive 8-man tag match. And I love this. I don't care about the match. I love the promos. The match was fine. The match was great. We'll talk about some moments. The promos were great. So we start off with Ricochet, Mordos, Action Andretti, Leo Rush. Mm-hmm. And Ricochet straight up says, hey, it's Team Ricochet. Guess
like
what I'm going to do?
Survivor Series match. Yeah.
Well, the thing that I didn't catch on, because honestly, I thought it was how Ricochet said it, but then when we get to the baby faces, it's said differently. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe that makes more sense. Ricochet was like, you know what I'm going to do with $400,000?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, it's $400,000 per person. No, it's $400,000 total. Because then when we go over to the baby faces, we're in a drain, apparently, or something. It looked cool, but it made no sense, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I didn't,
Also, like, so somebody scouted, probably found nearby the arena, I'm guessing, but like, they had to like walk down there in their get up and everything. Can you imagine if like you didn't know AEW was going on and you see this like camera crew and this misfit bunch of fuckers down in there? You're like, what in the hell is going on here?
Well, I do want to point out one thing from that. They are in a drain, apparently, and Mark Briscoe asks each one of them what would they do with the $100,000, right? Because they would split it up. First go to Ospreay. Ospreay says Disneyland or Disney World. Nerd.
Lame. Yeah.
Mike Bailey says shoes. And then he kicks his bare foot at the fucking camera.
Yeah.
So that asshole is standing in a drain
with his bare feet.
I said
the bacteria level on brothers, like you've been in these arenas, Tom.
Yeah.
The drain is the least of his worries.
Right, but still barefoot with wearing kick pads because I won't say, but kick pads. Whatever. But then the coolest part was then they go to Kevin Knight and Kevin Knight goes
Buzz Lightyear kick pads, Tom.
It makes no fucking sense. If you're wanting to inflict damage, you would rather wear shoes than kick pads because shoes hurt more. Kick pad is just to help you not hurt your shin.
Put on some fucking wooden clogs or some shit.
But like, if I kick you, I'm going to do more damage with my shoe on than barefoot. But I'm going to do more damage.
I get if you're like, hey, I want the dexterity of all of my toes and everything, then get you some of them toe shoes. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the little CrossFit shoes or whatever. But then if you're wanting to do damage with your shin, you wouldn't wear a kick pad because the kick pad is for protection of your shin, but also the other person's head.
Yeah.
It makes anyhow. Speedball, whatever.
Fuck your mama 2 times says, leave Mike Bailey's sense of fashion alone. He's adorable and awesome.
He might be adorable. I'm saying it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But then we get to Kevin Knight and he says Magic City. And I love it. Magic City, the best strip club in the world. Don't tell my wife, but the best.
Fucking Mama 2 times says we should go.
You act like I haven't been.
Yeah.
Brother,
yeah,
I've been.
You've been down in
I
Atlanta.
lived in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
I've been in them streets. God, their chicken wings are so good. Like legitimately good chicken wings. Like,
So I hear. Yeah, you sent me the clip last night. Yeah.
oh yeah. Because it was world famous, like if you know kind of thing. But then it became world famous because if you recall during COVID, Lou Williams was in the bubble for the Clippers. He went to a funeral, leaves the bubble, on his way back says, well, I'm gonna pick up something to eat, goes to Magic City, and they're like, oh my God, Lou Williams is at a strip club. And he just essentially is like, I wasn't there for that. I was there for the wings. Like,
yeah,
this is where we eat. Like, I like, like this is where, and I was like, yeah,
like,
motherfucker.
I can see titties. I don't need to go,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is just extra, right? That's just like new painting on the walls. I'm here for
accoutrement.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here for for that real shit. And then Mark Briscoe does I'm gonna diversify my portfolio. It would have been cooler if you would have just said chickens because eggs are so expensive. That's the fucking answer you should have had. Like right there. That's anyhow, but he didn't. So we get this match. 8-man tag match. Boom, 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 boom. What'd you think of the match?
Match is fine, and I like if we're gonna throw 8 people into a match because hey, we're gonna get all the stars on. Mm-hmm. This idea that we know what's on the line, right? This isn't just for shits and giggles. This is each one of these guys is gonna get $100,000.
Right. And it's important, right? I mean, obviously money is important, but
but even for people making millions a year, $100,000 is no joke, right? Like you got to be a billionaire before you're really damn,
yeah,
you
exactly.
know, I could use $100,000 in many ways.
Now there was a lot of discrepancies to me in last night's Dynamite. It was a great show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would rewatch it if, I had nothing else to do, but there were some things I was like, what? For example, started off with Mike Bailey not wearing shoes, standing in a drain. But then we get Ricochet
in Baltimore, nonetheless.
Yeah, I know. The Wire was filmed there. Watch The Wire for a season and you'll know not to be barefoot in the city. But
yeah, you're going to be more gangrene on your feet, man, is what's going to happen.
Ricochet does this backflip where he tries to hit all 4 of them at the same time, right? And he lands on his feet because they all 4 moved.
Yeah.
But then they all say, Baldy, and smack him on the head and he falls. Okay, I get it if you're Mike Bailey, Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight, but Mark Briscoe, you're fucking bald.
You're bald, yeah.
Why did you fucking do that? That's so stupid.
He's like, yeah, sick burn. Yeah. Right, guys? And they're just like, right. You're right, Mark.
Yeah. I didn't like that. The other thing, and this is just personal, because again, you're really fucking it up, Tony Khan. You're really fucking it up. Is the bad guys lose.
Hire Tom, Tony.
Yes, because you're fucking it up. The bad guys lose here, and that's totally fine. But you have the Beast Mordos take the pin, not Leo Rush, Action Andretti, one of those 2 forgettable fucking nerds in 6 months. What's their team name? Fucking Wario or some Mario Kart bullshit or something?
No, it's the Crew. That's their name. It's the Crew. 2 guys. It's like 2 guys calling themselves a insane clown posse.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Hold on, let me call my posse. Tom, you ready to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, my crew, Tom over here.
What are the crew?
Oh, it's just Crew? Is CRU even? Just Crew. Not even the Crew, just Crew. CRU. Crew.
Isn't that a button on your keyboard? Is that?
I think that's Control.
Control, okay. Which isn't that a group? Wasn't that a group?
It was. Yeah, I think it was.
So what I'm saying is
the Bailey group?
Maybe. But what I'm saying is those
Damage
2 guys.
Control. That was damage.
Those 2 guys can't take the pinfall, but this fucking cool beast Well, he can lose. No, he fucking shouldn't. Not in that spot. God damn it, Tony.
Yeah, what are the other guys gonna be mad that the Beast Mortals cost them $100,000? Like, what are they like? That seems weird.
Yeah, and you could get another match out of it because
It would be
the
great
Beast
to see Crew go up and start like poking him on the chest and be like, "We want our $200,000," and just have him fucking yeet them out the goddamn building.
Now you could do that because I was thinking the other way to get one more match out of this is the Beast Mordos is pissed that Leo Rush lost him $100,000, and so now here we go. You could even get LFI. Isn't Roosh still doing some things?
I think so.
Roosh and Beast Mortis versus Damage Control mini version. You know, like that would be fun.
I remember when I said their jackets made them look like a cartoon version of COVID in a pharmaceutical commercial. You know?
Yes.
Spikes.
Love it. Yes.
This should be their name, COVID Crew.
COVID Crew. There's no vaccine for us. We're too cool.
We're the newest strain. You know
Yeah, it's the newest strain of COVID. Yeah. Even RFK Jr.'s dying from this motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Hey, let's get
Wow,
into.
we live in this world. What the fuck?
Yeah, we do. Let's get into the
Real life.
AEW World Tag Team Champions celebration. The Hurt Syndicate retain their championships, just like I said they wouldn't.
God damn it. I just
know he
needed
gets
fucking
it.
Tony Storm to take a fucking loss.
Yeah, nope, not gonna happen. But Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin
Pick
and
Bill and Brian to win the fucking God damn it. And you still don't have to wear this shirt. Out of the two picks, which one sounds more absurd? Megan Payne beats Tony Storm or Bill and fucking Brian? But yet here you still get a win. God damn it.
yes, indeed. So they come out and they're like, let's fucking get partying. And before they can get partying, MJF comes down to the ring and he just stands alongside him like,
That was the best. Where he's like, hey, sorry I'm late. Hey, everybody fucking doing the like cheeky shit, like acting all fucking smooth. Then he's like, oh, yeah. And then just stands there in tough mode pose. And it almost broke Shelton. You had to see him play that off. He's like, this fucking jack off.
Well, so let's talk about that. We'll kind of cut to the chase. MJF is like, hey, helped you guys retain. Hurt Syndicate says, come on, you really didn't. We didn't need your help, which then kind of makes Big Bill look like a dummy. But anyhow, we'll get that later. So they're like, MJF saying, hey, I helped you. Lashley's like, that didn't help us. And if you really want to do something, like, you're going to need to do something else. MVP jumps in and he says, hey, I love you, Max, but you got to get 3 thumbs up. I give you a thumbs up. And then Shelton just goes thumbs down. And then we're done.
Then we're done. Yep. Done.
So then let's fast forward. We're going to go a little out of order. So let's fast forward to then the Hurt Syndicate are backstage being interviewed. And MVP's like, they're being interviewed by Alicia something, who I guess is MVP or MJF's like real wife or like fiance or something.
I guess. That's
And
why
he called
he
her
like,
a
slapped her
skank.
on the ass. Yeah. Right.
Funny.
He was like, sorry you had to see that.
Yeah. But here's what I don't get is so she asked him, hey, what's the latest? Like, what happened with that MJF thing? And then, okay, I just told you, Shelton Benjamin said, thumbs down. So we go to this interview and MVP goes, as you guys know, we need, 3 thumbs up. And Shelton goes, I like that little George Costanza guy. Let me tell you more about him. And all I thought was 20 minutes ago, you gave him a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Why didn't you give
and
him
nothing has happened in between here and there.
Nothing.
Now,
Like,
what they could have said was, he was like, listen, I gave him a thumbs down because you clearly, you clearly ain't happy and he's my boy, or you're my boy first, so I'm riding with you. But, like, what's the deal, man? He's fun, right? Like, they could say that.
That could be,
But
it made no sense to be like thumbs down.
Yeah.
But
now I get the idea of like, okay, so he's got 1, he's gonna have to earn 2, and then he's gonna have to earn 3, right? But that's not what we did here, right? It was like, he's only got 1. Second one was done. That's fine. That's on track. But now, like you said, Nothing's changed. And he's
So now
like,
Shelton's like,
why don't we maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I didn't
Maybe
get
I'm not
that.
here. Maybe I'm back here.
So yeah, made no sense. And then MJF then comes in after the tag team leaves, and he's like, "Hey, am I a bitch? Because what are you guys fucking doing to me here? You know?" And MVP's like, "Hey, we know who you are, and you got to realize, like, we know who you are."
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was
So
like,
like,
you tell him, like, I'm cool. Like, don't they know who I am? I'm MJF. And he's
mm,
like, no, they do know who you are.
so
That's
like,
their reservation. Yeah.
and so that leaves MJF frustrated. We end the segment, but again, made no sense. Thumbs down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But overall, I think the arc is still that it's that he's growing on Shelton, right?
yeah.
It's going to take a lot more to grow on Bobby. I don't know
Mhm.
how we get there. Like, I don't know what will flip that, but something's going to have to.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't do again step for step, but if you recall, the way MJF got into the inner circle was he beat Jericho in a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
That's what got him in there. I don't think you should do that again, but that would
The
be something.
I like too that he's just still calling him Bob. He's still not being nice to him. They
Yeah.
were talking over each other. That part was done really well, right? Where they
Mhm.
both were like saying shit.
Yeah.
That was it's
Yeah.
good.
Very,
This
yeah,
is
very
really
well done.
it's a very intriguing storyline right now. I like it.
I like it. I definitely like it. I like to see where we're going. All right, so let's get back on track. Renee is backstage talking to Megan Bain and Penelope Ford.
Megan
Just
Bain
one.
with the M headdress up to the skylights.
Yeah. Like, you wearing that and catering? Like,
And
what do
I
you
think
think?
it almost feels like she has to stand a certain way to like hold that on. Like she
Keep it
has to
up.
like keep forward, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to make sure her core is under your shoulders and get you.
And this was the first time we heard her speak, at least to my knowledge,
I
where she
think
goes, "I will
so.
make you all bow down."
Yep.
Okay. Don't talk again. I'd say Penelope Ford can handle that. Not to say she's bad, but like, keep the mystique. You know what I mean? I don't need long monologues.
Fuck your mama 2 times says Megan Bain is wow.
Yeah, I mean, she's easy on the eyes, that's for sure. Hot. And we keep up that hot action. Yeah. Hot. Because then we go into the 2025 Owen Hart Foundation women's quarterfinal match with Tony Storm on commentary, your AEW Women's World Champion, by the way. Look at my shirt. Look at his. Look at mine.
Don't look at it. Don't look at this. Shield your eyes from this. Don't let it take you down too.
And Tony Storm just being the best, telling kids to try this at home.
Jesus Christ. She broke the commentary team. So she said when Megan Bain dropped her on her head, she lost 3 inches, but she saw Mr. Schiavone and got it right back. She said, she was like, Key, she was like, Mr. Tasmaniac, you're double parked, but I took care of that for you. Some shit. Like just running them left and right. Just had shit on them all. Yeah.
The best. And it was Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. And what I thought was kind of a upset because Thunder Rosa is your former women's world champion.
True.
Chris Statlander is your former TNT champion, or TBS champion. And Statlander gets the victory. I'll also say this. I'm officially out on Thunder Rosa. Her time.
Yeah. We're just not recatching whatever fire that was, right?
And it's so cringeworthy. Hey, I'm going to grab a sign that I probably gave him, but I'm going to grab a sign of women's pro. It's just, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. It's like, oh, God, really? Nope. Don't like you. Don't like you at all. Don't like her. Statlander, though, she advances and
sorry.
on the I like yeah. And if you go back to Dynasty, Mercedes Moné defeated Julia Hart, and so then I think our next matchup will be Athena versus. Here you go. I'm gonna make you pick this one. Harley Cameron versus Athena. Winner advances in the tournament to face Mercedes. What do you think? You get a rematch of Harley versus Mercedes, or are we finally doing Athena versus
I
Mercedes
don't
in that?
think, again, like you said, Mercedes or Athena, right, has not lost in forever. I don't think Harley Cameron's like straight up getting a win here to advance in a tournament unless there are shenanigans, right? So Mercedes Moné costing her the match, maybe. But I don't know. I think we're gonna get the Athena Mercedes showdown. But you're right. We brought this up, but I don't think we'll get a winner at that. The first time they meet can't be in this tournament, right? And the winner then just goes on to like be in the finals of that tournament, right? That feels too small of a moment
Yes,
for the first time
does.
they meet.
It definitely does. So
maybe
I got a
Mercedes
couple.
does cost Athena the match. Harley gets a cheap win, and then Athena surfaces in that match when Harley's taking on Mercedes, costs Mercedes the match. Harley Cameron's in the finals of the Owen Hart tournament against whoever's on the other side.
Yeah, Statlander, and then I forget the other side of it as well.
Then we can run this like we believe, and Harley Cameron gets squashed, right? Like
Yeah.
she didn't. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, it's Billy Starks and Jamie Hayter. That's the other matchup. So you got Billy Starks, Jamie Hayter. Because, I mean, you got a lot of cool options. Because you could do Billy Starks, Athena in the final. Winner gets the shot at the women's championship.
So fucking mama 2 times bring it up, and I forgot this. Athena's going to face her in Boston at this big Dynamite show, but isn't that after this?
No, so this Saturday is Athena versus Harley. Wednesday in Boston is Mercedes versus the winner of that match.
Gotcha.
My gut.
We'll be there. Just
My
seems like
gut-
that's a weird spot to have their first like.
Yeah, the thing that I keep going back to is Billy Starks losing to Mercedes and Mercedes being like, who trained you? And then if you go to ROH history of Billy Starks and Athena, the minion, kicking her out of or kicking Lexi out of the minions and all of this stuff, it feels like if you're just following Ring of Honor logic, it's going to be Billy Starks who beats Athena for the ROH Women's Championship. So my gut is telling me something to the effect of Billy Starks goes out there, tries to like, I'm going to help out my teacher, ends up costing Athena the match. Then we go back over to ROH, and then it's Billy Starks, Athena for the ROH Women's. That's when Billy finally gets her victory. Then who? All right, so let's just talk that out. Let's say that it goes that way. And then I guess let's assume that Mercedes wins this tournament, right? So at All In, are we doing hasn't been pinned TBS champion Mercedes versus the best pro wrestler in the world, Tony Storm?
Oof.
Women's world champion? Like, that doesn't seem right either.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but I don't know exactly where we're going with it.
My gut says on the left-hand side of the bracket, Billy Starks is coming out. I think Billy beats Jamie Hayter. I think Billy beats Statlander. And then my gut says it is Mercedes. And then in the lead up, Tony Storm finds a way to fuck over Mercedes to lose her title.
In the chat here, Fuck Your Mama 2 times says, you're thinking way too hard. The semis will be Hayter versus Statlander, Monet versus Athena. But again, the Monet versus Athena, you have two people who haven't like lost in
ever
some years, right?
Yeah.
And then, one never here. And I guess Monet lost like a tag match here recently.
But not really.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. If to be the semifinals of a fucking tournament feels weird.
Yeah, of a tournament that just gets you a title shot at the championship.
Right, yeah.
Like that doesn't even really get you anything.
No, I think you'd be better off to be having some shenanigans here, but then again, for the storyline, you'd need shenanigans in 2 matches. And is that kind of detrimental to the aura of the tournament, right? Do they not want that when it's about this Owen Hart Memorial Foundation thing, you know?
That's true. Because, I mean, Athena could beat Harley, and then Billy Starks costs Athena the match against Mercedes.
Yeah. I almost like the idea that I put out there that Mercedes somehow costs Athena and Harley moves on. And then when it's Mercedes versus Harley, Athena comes out and it's like, run it back. And now Harley's in the finals like, hey, we're all like, holy shit, Harley's going to win this. And either Hayter or Statlander beats the shit out of her.
Well, I love when we have this fun theorizing, because it could be Statlander who wins the whole fucking thing, because why would Tony Storm just randomly sit out in the match with Statlander and Thunder Rosa?
True. Athena lost. Fuck your mama 2 times, brother. Said she lost to Momo in the Tokyo Dome.
Well, that was a four-way, right? Because that also had Willow, and it had Momo, and then it had someone else. So that one, yeah, but come on. Oh, that was another good line. Is Tony Storm, when she was on commentary, said, if I teamed with Statlander, we would be Thunder Thighs. And if I teamed with Tony, we'd be Tits.
Tits, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great line. Great line. All right, let's keep it moving. We'll see what happens. But Statlander gets the victory. She moves on. Then Don Callis is backstage. And all we have to say to that is...
Jacked, oiled up, hot.
Love it. He was ranting and raving, and that one just caught me. I was like, what does oiled up matter?
Part of it, brother. It's part of it.
Well, it makes it
hot.
I like it. Then, did you catch this? So, Adam Cole, your new TNT champion, beats Daniel Garcia. Fine. And now they're playing up the, hey, do you realize the last 2 years what he went through? Okay, cool. Still kind of says, like, Daniel Garcia, go fuck yourself, right? Because he went through all of this to beat Jack Perry, which, hey, where's that guy?
Yeah.
LOL.
He could be the new guy in the Death Riders, fill in as the third man.
Well, I keep thinking, so hold on. We'll get back to this Adam Cole thing, but going on that thought, my gut is telling me this. I agree with you. I think Okada Omega is going to be title for title unification at Y'all In. But before that is Double or Nothing. And I think we're going to get a payoff of Jack Perry, Kenny Omega International Championship at Double or Nothing. That's what I keep thinking will probably, because remember Jack Perry was like picking on Kenny Omega essentially the entire time he was sick, So I think
that's true.
From that,
dumping the intestines on the cake and whatnot,
right? All that stuff. So that's what I say. But anyhow, back to this. Did you catch that Adam Cole, your new TNT champ, with Kyle Riley and Roderick Strong, moved away from Undisputed Kingdom, and now they're calling themselves the Paragon?
Yeah. But still said that's undisputed, which is...
I mean, it's alluding to like what I get, but like...
They're convinced this is going to work this time.
Was this a fucking level on Minecraft? The Paragon? What the fucking nerd-ass name is that?
Yeah. This isn't going to hit. I don't know what they think. Like,
I don't know. Anyhow. That happened. And then we get worse because it's TV time with the learning tree, Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah, this was not good.
Jericho lost. Fine. And he says...
Well, so they had Jericho win, fooled us all, right?
Yeah.
But then they, as you know, that relatives of wrestlers can alert officials to immediately go check and then recall. Yeah. It happens all the time in pro wrestling.
And in other sports, football.
And in fact, the ref just only found a bat, right? Didn't see evidence that the bat was used.
Just had to be in that then.
Bat, well,
yep, bat.
Started again.
Yep.
I think Jericho was robbed.
Hopefully he does get robbed. But... No, maybe.
I hope somebody wouldn't like storm his grounds or anything.
Yeah. His wife will probably join him. I like storming things, and just joins the people robbing her own house. Man, throw this in there.
Got a
Yeah.
moose
Truth
head
keepers,
on her.
truth keepers. We're the truth keepers.
Yeah.
Where's Kamala? Fucking idiot. But he says he's upset, and then he goes, "But you know what? Thought we were all gonna have titles. Why don't we get Big Bill and Brian Keith out here, right?" So Brian Keith walks out looking like the opening act of a Nelly reunion tour, and Big Bill looking like a lead singer of a rock band at your local state fair. And they're just moseying their way down. And Chris, if you're going to say you're disappointed, I don't want to hear it, or you're going to, whatever. It basically ends with Jericho saying, "I'm disappointed."
But here's what
beats
made me
up
mad
the
about this.
and then leaves.
Is it's working so far up to Bill going, "Hey, look, if you're going to fucking just do this to publicly yell and berate, just fucking say it now. I joined this to be the learning tree. Teach me some shit. If you're just going to yell at me, then I'll fucking leave." And Chris Jericho does exactly that, and he doesn't fucking leave. He yells at him. He talks shit on him. He publicly humiliates him, and he just stands there like, why didn't you do what you said you were going to do? Why did you leave? Should have left.
Yeah.
That's the missing point here. Should have been like, "I told you, bitch."
Yeah.
And you could have been like, "Get back here." And then Bill could have been like, "Oh."
But then, so one thing
Brian,
I did think,
right? Brian. Sorry, yeah, Brian.
Well, Brian, I did think was interesting part was Bill said, "And Brian feels the same way."
Yeah, he kept speaking for Brian's like, "I mean, bro, but I wasn't ready to say that."
Don't you say that yet? We haven't got our checks cleared. All right.
Right.
This motherfucker pays us, you know? But then, yeah, Jericho's like, "I'm disappointed," and then just leaves. And the only thing that made this segment anything of note was someone yelled, "Suck on a maple leaf, buddy."
Yeah. Yeah. You think they like rolled up like chewing tobacco and just put maple leaf in the
Got that real
spit out a little syrup every once in a while.
Oh, you need some
Pause,
lubrication
Canadians.
for that.
I know syrup doesn't come from the leaves. Like,
No, we don't know that. You need some lubrication on them pancakes. Ding. There you go, brother.
Yeah.
On the house.
Yeah, on the house. That's not how they talk. Well, they're Southern Canadian, right? They're Southern Canadian, not the Northern Canadians, the Southern Canadians.
Yeah, right next to, Washington State or something. Yeah. Yeah. Why did I make them Southern?
Yeah, Southern Canadian.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
Isn't that where everybody in Canada lives too? Is like the Southern Canada, like in a 10-mile strip along the border.
Probably. Right. I don't know. It's America's hat. Probably one of those two assholes who try to steal the Spanish dance symbol.
If you're accepting refugees, please, we are both willing to. I'll sign the papers right now.
Unless you started that fucking podcast, The Spanish Announce Table. Fuck you two forever. You assholes knew.
Listen.
You did a Google search.
Citizenship is what it takes.
Yeah, you can have it.
You can have it. You can have this show. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Get me out. But hey, one thing I did want to mention. Okay, so he leaves, right? But then we just show him walking to his. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I believed him.
Yeah, I know. He said he was leaving. I didn't want to verify.
I didn't care to verify. But nope, we got to get that in.
At least just announce it like they would with Shawn Michaels, right? Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jericho has left the building. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. That was fucking
Everybody
dumb.
would have cheered. Yay.
Yeah, Jericho just needs to fucking too much, brother. Go away. And look, maybe he does. Maybe this is like, hey, I'm going to take 6 months. That's what he
said. He said, I'm going to go away, right?
Well, hopefully that really means something. You know what I mean? But we'll see. So yeah, then as I mentioned, the backstage segment with the Hurt Syndicate, and then we get right into our main event. It's a tag match. It's the Death Riders coming out with their cool intro because they got a red light, and they're taking on it's Claudio and Yuta.
Hot.
Hell yeah, probably figuratively and literally. You know what I'm saying? And Then it's Yuta and Claudio versus Hook and Joe, the Ops. And I tell you what, the Ops theme,
Yeah,
not
Ops
bad.
theme is good. Mm-hmm.
Not bad. I liked it. And then what do we get here? We get a good old wrestle, right? Wrestle, 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 wrestle.
A few tags in there.
Yep. Tag here, wrestle, wrestle,
Right,
wrestle,
right.
wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
And Hook hits up old Yuta on that red rum, makes him tap out. And then Marina gets in there and she's like, well, I'm going to beat these fuckers' asses with this chair. And so then they're starting to do that stuff. Then you get Moxley runs down and he's like, oh, we're going to get him. And then that's when Shibata, that's why I thought Shibata then comes out and then gets his kind of revenge on Moxley. And that's where I was thinking, like, oh, Moxley's going to fill in for Pac because they needed a third person to
Right.
have Shibata get, part of this story as well. So I don't know. Then Joe's like, hey, you're dick riders, not death riders. And then the Ops, and then again, he goes, the Ops are coming for the Trios Championships. So
Yep.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Trios Championships, though, let's go back to Dynasty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We had the Death Riders retain over Rated FTR.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I thought this was actually one of the cooler kind of double turns because I think we both, if we had to bet, we knew that Bald FTR was going to turn if they lost, right? So they lose. Bald FTR does exactly what we think. But then we don't wait like till Dynamite or Collision.
Yeah.
We go right to Hair FTR is like, hey, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm going to hit him too. Whap. And then they just fucking take him out.
Yeah.
Right?
The part that missed for, and now I liked it. It was really funny, right? But like, he puts on the neck brace and all that. But like, to me, he went too fast into the like, okay, we're heels now. Did Hair FTR, right? Because like, were you in on this from the jump and we're ready to turn now? Because it seems like you know what I mean? This was a little premeditated instead of just like, I guess I'm picking a side and I'm riding with my brother, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe it was, and maybe we'll find out because on Saturday they're going to give us a promo. Maybe it is like hey, we knew if we were losing that he was the dead weight and we got to get rid of dead weight because we got goals.
I bet he talks about his family.
Bald or Hair?
Bald.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Tony Schiavone on Dynamite brings up the Pinnacle and how he's watched wrestling since the 1980s, and that's one of the worst things he's ever seen.
Yeah, which no, it wasn't.
Well, but it adds credibility because he's been there since Dusty got jumped by the Four Horsemen. So
yeah,
it adds credibility to it.
And a few kicks and some shit, man. Like,
well, and the concertos, right?
They
Yeah. My favorite part wasn't the Hair FTR grabbing the neck thing and put it around his neck, is that he put it around his neck and then he jumped into the gurney and was like, he actually needs it. And he's like, he needs it more than me. That was my favorite part. Yeah. So it feels like to me where we're going now. I don't know which of the two pay-per-views, but it feels as if, tell me what you're thinking here. I could see Hurt Syndicate versus FTR tag team championships. That's where Edge, Adam Copeland, comes back, costs him the championships. And then that's when y'all in Copeland, Christian, FTR.
Well, and if you've caught fucking COVID crew in a backstage promo with Nick Wayne, where they were like, oh, your daddy tell you to say that, or your daddy didn't allow you to do that, whatever. And he's like, what? Bitch, like, I don't, you know what I mean? I do think you're onto something. I think Nick Wayne might kick Christian out of the patriarchy here.
Yep. And
then,
if the rumors are true, imagine a sympathetic Christian looking at Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian like, what the fuck? I gotta do. And then you get I'm a Dinosaur, Luchasaurus come out, but then Luchasaurus goes like, bitch, did I say I'm a dinosaur, not a kill switch? And then joins with them and is like, we're fucking bad guys. This is the best, like, could be cool.
Could be. Could be.
Could be cool.
Well, we're getting the Cope and Christian run, and it's
getting
happening
Cope
soon,
and Christian versus FTR. That has to.
Yeah.
That's what everyone wants to do because they're all friends and all of that. The other thing I think we're gonna get is this is again gut reaction. Swerve and Hangman versus the EVPs. But that's where I'm saying. So you get Swerve and Hangman versus the EVPs. You got Okada versus Omega, or what I think Omega versus Jack Perry, then that, right? So who's gonna be fighting Moxley? Is it the winner of this? Was it this Owen Hart tournament?
Maybe.
Because who's in the Owen? Because it's Hangman, Surprise. Let me see who is in this bitch.
Ospreay is still in it, or did he lose already?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I need to do this website too, because their AEW website could fucking use some love to just show me the tournaments. Like, show me just the fucking...
AEW website's not great. I'll give you that.
Men's Owen Hart.
They still have a link for the Continental Classic, but they don't have one for the Owen.
I know. Here. All right, images. Let's see here. Okay, so we've got that's the women. Fucking great. Oh, that doesn't have any fucking god damn. Why can't I find this? Oh my god, this is the worst. This is Tim. Can you find it? I can't find. I don't fact check, so this is new to me. I'm trying to fucking tell you all the stuff. So we've got.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, great radio here.
Show me.
Great radio.
Great radio, Tom. This was a great idea you had for us to find.
I tell you what. Yep. Damn it. Well, I can't find it.
Brackets.
Where's fucking Mama 2 times? Doesn't he have all this information right at the tip of his fingers?
Last year's.
This is the worst. But anyhow, I just don't know, as you're kind of finding it, I just don't know who's going to take on Moxley. Or is Moxley going to lose the championship? And then, LOL, I guess we'll just figure it out then. Because who is it? Who's the guy that's going to be doing this shit? All right, hold on. I got it here. No, I don't.
What is the deal? Why can't this not men's Owen Hart tournament bracket?
All right, here we go. We got Ospreay versus Kevin Knight, Brody King versus Takeshita.
Ospreay won.
Right, Ospreay won at Dynasty. Then we got Brody King, Takeshita.
Neither of those guys are going to be facing John Moxley for the world title at All In.
Right, Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher.
Nope.
And then Hangman versus Wild Card.
So it's either Hangman, Ospreay, or this Wild Card.
I think it'll be Ospreay because he doesn't have anything.
Card B.
So someone said this to us on Blue Sky. They think it's old headgear, the fucking Canadian.
Josh Alexander.
Yep, there it is.
But he's also not going to go face Moxley for the world title at All In. So
no.
That's why it would have to be somebody like a big name that suddenly a top contender for the world title. You know?
So it's Ospreay. So yeah, Ospreay will be taking on Moxley. And that makes sense. That's a big enough draw.
Yeah.
Honestly, the women's is more intriguing. Jamie Hayter, Billy Starks, Chris Statlander, Mercedes Moné, Harley Cameron, Athena. I don't know who the fuck faces Toni Storm because they all could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there we go. That was our AEW Dynamite. As I mentioned, Saturday, we're going to hear from FTR about why they're bad guys now.
Mm-hmm. Why they're bad guys. Why they're evil.
Bad guys. I still think their first feud, while we wait for Copeland, they need to take out the Outrunners.
Yeah.
That needs to be the first thing they do is go right after those motherfuckers.
You stole our gimmick.
Yep. Well, because I could even see the Outrunners be like, hey, man, that's not like who we are. And they're like, we? Who the fuck said we were anything? And then beats them up. You know.
I love that idea.
I think it should be fun. But excited, got a lot of fun stuff, and AEW weekend recap, and we got the more stuff heading our way.
Yeah, so everybody should go check out our website, allelitewrapup.com. That's www.allelitewrapup.com. Remember that, because that is also our Blue Sky handle. It's at www.allelitewrapup.com. They're one and the same. And just talk to us, right? Talk to us. Enjoy the links. Check us out. Check out the back catalog. And maybe we'll see you here next week when we return with more All Elite Wrap Up.